Wow, what a Nintendo Direct. I honestly can say that that's probably my favorite Direct they've shown off, maybe in the Switch era. It feels like almost everything I wanted to be there was there. I wasn't expecting Breath of the Wild 2, but Animal Crossing Direct was a nice surprise. A new Splatoon 3 trailer looking incredible, 3D Kirby for all those fans. Mario Party looks phenomenal. All of it just looked really solid. However, I should say almost all of it. Not all of it was perfect. In fact, there were some parts that were just like, bro, what is going on? So in today's video, I wanted to take a look at 5 things I loved about that Direct and 5 things I didn't. Let's start off strong with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Obviously, this is something I loved because holy crap, a 3D Kirby and like a real 3D Kirby, this is something I could actually see myself getting. I never got any of the 2D Kirby games. I played like a little bit of them on like demos or friend systems here and there, but they were all just so easy that I really didn't enjoy them. There's such an oversaturation of good 2D platformers that I don't really see myself wasting my time on one that is so incredibly hand-holdy and easy as of like, you know, Kirby Star Allies or something. However, the same cannot be said about 3D platformers. There is not an oversaturation of good 3D platformers. I can name maybe like 5 from the past decade off the top of my hand, and most of them are Mario. Then you got like a Hat in Time in there too. Like a brand new 3D Kirby, and especially one that looked that good. Yeah, I mean, 100% going to cop this. It'll be the first Kirby game I've ever played, but it just looked so freaking neat. Then, something I didn't like as much. Triangle Strategy. Oh my god, this looks terrible. Not the actual gameplay itself. I really shouldn't comment on that because I know pretty much nothing about the genre, so I really can't say if it's good. Graphically, it looks fine, but oh my god. The name is just so bad. Who in their right minds is going to go to a store and buy a game called Triangle Strategy? With a game like this, Square Enix does not have to win over RPG fans who are already invested in like the community and watch directs and stuff. Anyone who is an RPG fan and watches a direct will know if they want to buy that game within seeing it in the direct. If they want this game to sell well outside of that very niche audience, break into the mainstream a little, you gotta capture the people who aren't like huge Nintendo fans. They don't watch every direct, they just have a Switch for maybe Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and they'll walk into like a GameStop or a Walmart and see this game and want to pick it up. Nobody, and I'm pretty positive, I mean actually 0 people, are going to walk into a store not wanting to buy this game and then leave wanting to buy this game. Triangle Strategy is probably the worst video game name I think I've ever seen, just ever. It's just so unfathomably bad. If I was a developer on this game, I'd be pissed because I'm pouring my heart and soul into a game that is not going to sell well at all because some bozo up at the top of Square Enix decided to name it Triangle Strategy. Next thing I like was the Animal Crossing New Horizons update. The fact that we're not only getting Animal Crossing New Horizons updates, you know, because that seemed like a lost art, but we're actually also getting a full direct. I mean, shoot, man, like they could add a bunch of stuff into this game and I would just be over the moon. It would be so cool. Obviously, we know the Roost is coming. I'm hoping a lot more collectible stuff, maybe like farming, just like more stuff to do in that game because it's fun, but like, God, there's really nothing to do besides terraforming, which, you know, in and of itself is just a pain in the ass. Also, fix the multiplayer, make the multiplayer actually good. Oh my god, if that game acted more like an MMO and there were like mini games and stuff to do on the island, I would still be playing it to this day. But because there's nothing to do on the island, besides just walk around and hit people with shovels, it's just not that fun, man. Going from one direct announcement to another within a direct. I didn't really like the fact that they announced the Sakurai Presents in the direct. I understand why they did it, because obviously it's the last Smash Bros. Fighter. They want to give this, you know, a huge, you know, its own like presentation. That makes sense. But honestly, I feel like it's just kind of cheeky because everyone was expecting it to be here because they're always in directs. And then in the direct, they announce that it's not in the direct. You gotta wait like another week or so. I mean, it's not like it's too far off. I think it's what, like October 6th, but still, it's just kind of annoying. Like, I don't know why they didn't put the trailer for the character, like the announcement trailer, in this direct, get people talking, and then do like the full presentation, you know, obviously on the 6th or whenever they have it scheduled. I don't know. I just didn't really like how that was handled. However, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not something I'm that bummed about. I don't know. I thought it was a little odd considering everyone and their mom was expecting an actual reveal this direct. Next thing I liked was Mario Party Superstars. The 100 minigames all look to be pretty unique, and speaking of unique, the 5 boards are all different from each other, and they look to actually be different not just on a graphical surface level, because if any of you know my, quarries with Super Mario Party, all the boards are essentially the exact same. They're just like circles. There's no real interesting paths you can take in them, and that seems to be rectified in this because obviously NDCube just took older boards from older games. I'm gonna be honest, the entire thing looks pretty good. It doesn't look to be reinventing the envelope, but after just as bad of a game as Super Super was, I'm fine with just an average Mario Party. Third thing I didn't like, Mario Golf Super Rush DLC. Nintendo has to realize that people don't play Mario Golf for the pure golf. If they wanted like an actual realistic golfing game, they'd get like Tiger Woods PGA or whatever. In the same way that people don't play Mario Kart if they want realistic racing, they'll go play like Forza or Need for Speed or something. People want to have fun. They want a wacky golf party game. And Nintendo does not understand that, as they add in golf courses that seem just to be like average golf courses. We saw a glimpse of goodness with New Donk City in the first DLC update, but then they returned right back to boring courses that people just don't want to play. I was not planning on buying this game unless the DLC looked really good, and this did the opposite of selling me on the game. I will not be buying the game now. Kind of a bummer because I wish it was better, but it's not look good at all. Next thing I want to talk about is the Nintendo Switch Online expansion. N64 games? Oh yes sir. It's looking good. I mean, N64 games plus Genesis games, we're now actually finally building out this catalog, and it's close to becoming what we actually wanted it to be when, the Switch launched. We wanted it to be the subscription virtual console service because people were tired of buying the same, Super Mario Bros. NES game for $5 over and over and over again. One on the Wii, one on the Wii U, one on the 3DS. It's just not fun. However, with only NES and SNES games, it was pretty boring. Finally getting N64 games and Genesis games, which was a nice surprise. Oh yes, it just looks really sick. However, unfortunately, by the same token, the fourth thing I didn't like was also about the Nintendo Switch Online thing. I understand charging more for the N64 and Genesis collection. To be honest, I even expected it, and it did not shock me at all when it was announced. What did shock me though were two things. One, you get 8 N64 games at launch. 8. And some of the best N64 games they were holding back. Paper Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, they're holding those back. And with no clear roadmap of when we're going to be getting those games, why would I pay extra money, subscribe to this newer service, when I could just wait and play more games later? On top of that, the fact that they did not announce the price in this section really makes me weary. I still feel like they're trying to decide what to charge, and to me, it's very simple. It's $20 a year for the base service. You can charge $30 a year max for this expansion pass. People are not going to pay over $10 a year for Genesis and N64 games. It's a cool concept, sure, but until you start adding GameCube games to this section, pretty much any phone can emulate N64 and Genesis games, so if someone really wants to play one of those games, they'll just pirate it. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just the reality we live in. I don't know, the fact they didn't announce a price kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Last thing I enjoyed about this was Splatoon. Splatoon honestly feels like something that would have came out of older Nintendo. I mean, it's so creative, so unique, and you get such cool presentations and trailers for it. I love Splatoon. I think Splatoon 3 is going to be amazing. I really have nothing negative to say about it. Obviously, I'd like to see more of the game, but considering this trailer was single-player focused and the single-player looks to be a really big part of this new installment, I'm honestly fine with getting minimal everything, no release date, and stuff like that. Like, I just wanted to see more of the game, and we saw more of the game, and it looked great. Last but not least, the thing I did not like, oh god, do I even have to say? I don't hate Chris Pratt. I see so many people saying he's just terrible. He's not bad at all. At least in terms of being an actor, I think the dude is perfectly fine. He's a good actor. He's not annoying like James Corden, and he's not one of those actors you get annoyed of just because you see him everywhere, the way I personally get with actors like Timothée Chalamet. I mean, that dude has like a movie coming out every week this month. I have absolutely zero problem with Chris Pratt. I just don't know why he's voicing Mario. Even then, having a celebrity-filled cast just isn't my favorite thing because it disallows actual voice actors who could be, just blatantly more talented than these celebrity actors a chance to shine because, well, obviously the company who wants to make a profit from this movie wants to attract big names so people can come see Seth Rogen voice the funny monkey. However, what pisses me off the most is that Charles Martinet gets relegated to cameos. I don't know, I feel like the dude just has, poured his heart and soul into this franchise for the past, 20-something years, and miscellaneous cameos in the franchise's Hollywood debut, and opting for Chris Pratt to voice Mario, Charlie Day to voice Luigi, I don't know, it just seems bizarre. However, this movie will either be surprisingly good or a train wreck. The possibility of it just being insanely mediocre has seemingly vanished with these voice actor castings. And to be honest, mediocrity was the part I was nervous about the most because of, well, illuminations. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Like if you liked, comment if you have something to say, and with that out of the way, I'm Thomas from the Switch Shop signing off. Peace.